Yo, peace was good. Welcome to my CD collection. This is part 87. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I did, to an extent. It's just because I was sick, so I couldn't really. I couldn't really enjoy my food. So, cause when you're sick, you have a cold. You can't really taste your food if you have a cold and shit like that. So that was pretty much it. But I was able to see my family, so I thought that was pretty cool. My grandma's in town. You know what I mean? My family from New York came down and shit like that. Like some of them came down and we were able to have it here at the crib. So I was happy about that. You know what I'm saying? So. But for enough of that. Hope you guys, everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. For those that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, hope you had a wonderful day. All right. So I went digging last week Monday. I went digging and I got some CDs. All right. So you know how I get down. All right. So I'll show you guys some of the CDs I got, and the two of them. My man JD. I've mentioned him before. He hooked me up with the third bass, the Cactus album. He hooked me up with that that same dude. So, we did a little trading and stuff like that. He also hooked me up with Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth, but the first edition, the first pressing of it, the enhanced CD, that's the one I want. You know what I mean? So, so I traded. I had the 2000, the second pressing. I gave him that. I traded that for the first pressing. So, like, how much of a Mobb Deep? I mean, the shirt says it all. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know some of you guys are gonna ask me where I got the shirt. I got it off eBay. So, but yeah. So enough for that, and show you guys the CDs I got doing my things. All right. The first CD that I'm gonna show you guys today is Goody Mob's third album titled World Party, released in 1999. You guys should know who Goody Mob is. I've mentioned them before. They're affiliated with Outkast. They're part of the whole Dungeon family. Out in Atlanta and stuff like that. Which consists of CeeLo, Big Gip. I forgot the other name of the artist. Sleepy. I believe Sleepy Brown. I want to say Sleepy Brown. I'm not sure, but I forgot. But anyways, you guys get the idea. But yeah, so Goody Mob came out this third album, World Party. I showed you guys the Soul Food album, which I have to do a review on that eventually. That's another dope album. They came out with a second album called Still Standing that came out in 1999. I don't have that. I need to get my hands on that. You know what I mean? This album came out with two singles. The singles are Get Rich to This and What It Ain't Ghetto Enough, which features TLC. This sounds a little bit different from their first two albums because their first two albums were like more, talked about social issues and things like that. With this album, they kind of went like on a more commercial route. You know what I mean? And they didn't sell. This album didn't really sell very well, and because of that, they were dropped off the label, Arista Records or The Face Records, and and CeeLo ended up leaving the group after this album dropped and stuff like that to pursue a solo career, that kind of thing. This album was okay, could have been a little bit better. It's not really the best album. I would say that their first two albums are the best. Soul Food being my favorite out of the two. Yeah, man. This is one song called Chain Swing. Oh my god, that shit is dope. It's not something I would expect to hear on a Goody Mob sound album. I would expect to hear that, like the type of beat I would expect to hear like on a Black Rob album, that kind of thing. But it's dope, and it was produced by D-Dot, so you already know. But yeah, Goody Mob World Party, released in 1999, alright? Then we got Sticky Fingaz with his solo debut album titled Black Trash, the Autobiography of Kirk Jones, released in 2001. So glad I found this album. Excuse me. You guys should know who Sticky Fingaz is. For those who don't know, he's like 1/3 or 1/2, I should say by now. No, fuck it, I'm gonna say 1/3 because That's some bullshit. Of Onyx, which consists of Fragile Star, Sticky Fingaz himself, Sonny at one point, my son C, and recipes of Big DS. Alright? You guys already know the history about Onyx, you know, that kind of thing. Big DS, I think he died from cancer like back in in the mid 2000s, I believe. And you know, Son C, you know, I don't know if he was kicked out of the group, but there's some conflicting stories about that. I don't know if he left the group, but that's some shit like that. But you know, I think Onyx is not the same without Son C. I'm sorry, they're not the same. You know, that's just my opinion. But getting back to Sticky Fingaz, this is his solo debut album. Very dope album. The singles off this album are what is it? Get It Up featuring Fragile Star. Fucking dope song right there. The story with this album, well, the background of the story is like Kirk Jones, he just got out of jail, just did like a bid in jail, things like that, jail bid, and you know, he's trying to find his way, you know, to fit into society and stuff like that. So I thought dope concept album and things like that. This is one song called The State vs. Kirk Jones. Oh my god, that shit is so ill. Where what was it? Yeah, it features Redman, Rod Digger, Cannabis. I mean, fucking dope. Scar for Life, Lord Superb, and Guess Who? I mean, that shit is right. That shit is dope. You know, they play inside like a you know, the courtroom and things like that. And I think Rod Digger plays as the judge. Cannabis plays as like their attorney or some shit. Yo, that shit is so dope. I highly recommend checking that song out on YouTube or something like that. They should have made a video for that, but I could imagine like the you know, the budget for that video would have been fucking big, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, very dope, glad to own it. This album's long out of print, but you can find it, you can find it for dirt cheap online. So, but yeah, this is Sticky Fingaz, Black Trash, the autobiography of Kirk Jones, released in 2001. Apologies if I sound like nasally, you know, I'm still going through the cold, so you gotta bear with me. Alright, but I do it for you guys. Alright, so next CD I got is Erick Sermon's 6th album with Chilltown, New York, released in 2004. You guys by now should know who Erick Sermon is. I've mentioned him before. I just did the EPMD introduction. I did that last week. I showed you guys, you know, the No Pressure album. I showed you guys the Double or Nothing album, and you know, among other albums and stuff like that. So you guys should have an idea. So this is a 6th album. The singles off this album, there's 2 singles that I know of. I know it's Relentless and a joint called Listen. I think that's the one with, yeah. It's Listen with I believe it's with Keith Murray. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. Feel It. It's with Sean Paul. You know what I mean? This album was okay. It wasn't really his best album, in my opinion. Like, I'm a big fan of old Erick Sermon. I'm talking about Erick Sermon. From like, you know, the early 90s, you know, from like, you know, the No Pressure era, you know, Business Never Personal, you know, Business as Usual, Double or Nothing, like, you know, pretty much from like 1990 to like 96. That's my favorite era of Erick Sermon, especially production wise. I mean, Jesus Christ. His beats from back then, it's like no other, man. I wish he would make beats like that again. But with this album, you know, you can tell he's trying to go for the more, you know, commercial sound and stuff like that. But you know, this album could have been a little bit better. It's okay. It's just the production to me feels flat to me. You know what I mean? And this was the last time he put out for a while. He just put out an album called ESP. I think it's called like Breath of Fresh Air. I forgot what the ESP stands for, but that one was okay. It wasn't really all that good. It was whatever. But yeah, Erick Sermon, Chilltown, New York, released in 2004. Next project, next album to show you guys is Eazy-E's Impact of a Legend, released in 2002. This is an EP. Pretty much, these are songs that were supposed to be on his second album, which I did a review for, Straight Off the Streets of Motherfucking Compton. Some of the songs were supposed to be on the album, but didn't make the album. And in a way, I'm kind of glad it didn't, because some of the songs didn't really fit that album. So I'm glad that whoever did the track list and who was like the executive producer, kind of, I don't know. It's just like, for me, I'm glad like they didn't put these songs on that album, because I don't think it would have fit the album. At least some of them. But and it comes with a DVD, comes with videos, like shows all of his videos and stuff like that. All the videos that he put out, like solo wise, Real Compton City G's, Any Last Words, Just to Let You Know, B&K, Black Nigga Killer with Bone Thugs, Neighborhood Sniper, fucking love that joint. We Want Easy, Only If You Want It, Easy Said and Done, Straight Outta Compton, For the Love of Money. That was on the first Bone Thugs EP, Creeping on the Come Up. Then it comes with special features. Eazy-E presents Ruthless Records video mega mix, but I'm pretty sure it's like a masterful board of videos and stuff like that. Eazy Karaoke, the discography, biography, photo gallery, lyrics, lost footage. I'd love to see that. Rap pages and timelines. So yeah, glad to own it. I remember seeing this in stores back in like the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, but I never bothered to pick it up because I'm not a big fan of posthumous albums where people would like release like unreleased albums from certain artists that's dead already, but they would remix the songs, like they would change the beats, and that's why I didn't pick it up for a while. But yeah, Eazy-E, Impact of a Legend, it's an EP released in 2002. Next album, I'm glad to own this shit. I'm so fucking happy to get this in its proper form, and it is Prince's The Hits and the B-Sides, released in 1993. Okay, I used to have disc 1 back in the day, and I don't know what happened to it. I think I gave it away, so I don't know why I did that, but it made up for it, and I got this it comes with three disc set version of this Dance to the B-Sides. The story with this compilation album is that his group at the time that came out in 1993, that was around that time, because this was like after he was with the Revolution, so he had a new group, the New Power Generation, and they were supposed to drop their debut album called the Gold Nigga. But what ended up happening was that album actually got shelved. They didn't really put it out. The only way you were able to get that album was if you went to their concerts, and it was very limited quantity. So that album was like dumb rare. So good luck finding that shit. We'd love to hear that. You know what I mean? Even though I'm a big fan of like early Prince and stuff, which I'll get into later on. But the story with this, so because of that, the record label made him drop this album right here. So the thing with this album right here is that just like with Sign of the Times, which was a double disc album, as well as Esham's Judgment Day, they were sold separately. Volume disc 1 and disc 2, they were sold separately in stores. But disc 3 contains the B-sides, and the only way you were able to get that was to get this 3 disc set. So that's where they got you at. It's like, okay, we got you in disc 1 and disc 2, but if you want to get the bonus tracks, you would have to get the box set. You know what I mean? So it's definitely worth the money. And it's funny because I remember looking up this album for a while, and I remember I bought it, this same one, I bought it for a friend, it was her birthday and shit like that. I bought it, and I kind of regretted not buying it for myself, but it was only one copy in the store. It was at FYE. But then I remember a little bit after that, I tried looking this CD up, on Amazon and stuff like that, and it was up there in price. You know what I mean? Especially around the time he died. You know what I mean? So I was kind of pissed off about that. So I was like, I don't know, like I'm not gonna buy it. But then I think like a couple months later after Prince died, I've noticed like his CDs went down in price. So, and this being one of them, and then the store that I usually go to where I go digging and stuff like that. You know, I found it. Like, I got it for like $10. I was like, what? $10? Could not beat that. I'm so glad, and I'm glad I picked it up, got it in its proper form, and that kind of thing. So, like I said, Volume 1 and 2 were sold separately, but this 3D set was sold the same day. But like I said, if you wanted the B-sides, you would have to buy this one. So that's what they got you, like I said before. So disc 1, a lot of these songs are from, you know, from his first album that came out in 1978, all the way up For You, which I need to get my hands on, all the way up to like 1993 when this compilation album dropped. The first disc, you know, a lot of songs come from, you know, like the, you know, first couple of albums and things like that. Same thing with disc 2. But in each album, you know, it has like an unreleased song here and there. But disc 3 is where the creme de la creme, in my opinion, is that, you know, like a lot of these songs, like you know, from like, you know, the Dirty Mind sessions, you know, Purple Rain, you know, the 1999 album. A lot of them are like B-sides that only were featured on the B-sides. So these are like non-album songs that never made the album or that never saw the light of day. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoyed that, man. And it is such a highly recommended album, man. I mean, if you're a Prince fan, I mean, you have to get this album. You have to get it. Even if you have all of the early albums, you won't get the unreleased joints. As soon as that it makes some of those albums, then this is the album to get. You know, like as I mentioned before, shit was time that left. I still got some time. I'm a big fan of Prince, but the Prince that I love is from, you know, 1978 up to like 1984. You know, so from like the For You era all the way up to the Purple Rain era. You know, when he used to work with you know, Des Dickinson, The Time, you know, or Morris Day and you know, Alexander O'Neal, and you know, all those cats, you know, Prince in the Revolution era, like that's a Prince I like. You know, I love that. You know, I love that era of Prince. You know, when he used to fuck with Vanity 6, you know, there's just a whole bunch of people, man, around that time, man. You know, that to me was Prince in his prime years, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But you know, and then you know Prince, he has like a shitload of music out. I mean, that's unreleased. You know what I mean? That, you know, that needs to see the light of day. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard about the Jay-Z controversy that he was gonna buy the whole thing for like his whole estate for like $40 million or something like that. And I don't know if that went through. I hope it didn't, because the way Jay-Z is, he's not really a good businessman. You know what I mean? And that's no diss Jay, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, glad to own it. Thank you. Fucking love this album. Next album I'm gonna show you guys, it was more of a mixtape. It's Rell with The Streets Wanna Know mixtape, released in 2006. Man, Dipset brings me back to my high school days. I mean, you know, 2002, 2003, 2004. I mean, come on, 2005. You know, Dipset, how G Unit was running things around that time, Dipset was running too. Like, they had like a nice competition. Like, it was so fucking dope, man. Like, you couldn't walk around New York without hearing anything from Dipset related, man. I mean, you know, Cameron, Joel Santana, you know, Uncasa, Aguilar at one point when he's part of the whole Purple City gang, Shice Bubs, you know, A Mafia, you know, like 40 Cal. I mean, oh my god, this shit right here is fucking dope right here. I mean, even though it got some like industry beats, some of it is like some beats that they gave him and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty dope, man. I mean, I've always liked Rell because he to me was like the Styles P of Dipset, if that makes sense. He was like the hardest one. Like, he's the one that had the more aggressive beats and things like that. And you know me, I like that aggressive shit. So, but yeah, very dope. Rell, Streets Wanna Know, released in 2006. Excuse me. Then I finally got this album right here, Shyne, with his self-titled album, Shyne, released in 2000. All right. You guys should know who Shyne is. For those who don't know, he's an MC from East Flatbush, Brooklyn. He got his start back in the late '90s. He got discovered by Clark Kent, and you know what the story with that was that, you know, he was in a barber shop. Clark Kent heard him freestyling. He came to the liking of him, you know, because his voice kind of reminded him of Biggie. So he was like, oh, yo, like, let me hear you rhyme. And then he came to the liking of him, you know, showed him to Puffy. And then, you know, Puffy gave him like $1 million, like millions of dollars or some shit like that. Gave him a 5-album deal, that kind of thing. Got him like a house and a couple of cars. You know, that's the story with that. But unfortunately, this album almost didn't come out because back in 1999, he was involved in a club shooting. You know what I mean? Like, he had beef with some cats or whatever. Some cats had beef with you know, Puffy, and you know they trying to test him and shit like that. So, you know, he was shooting at the people, and then like one of the lady, there was an innocent bystander who, I think she got shot in her mouth and shit like that. So because of that, he went to jail for attempted murder. So he served like 9 years in prison. But the album ended up coming out, and it actually sold very well. The singles off the album are Bad Boys, which was my introduction to him. Bonnie and Shyne. Oh my god, I love that song. And yeah, Bad Boys, Bonnie and Shyne, and That's Gangsta. Those are the singles off the album. I mean, great album, man. Not a classic, but it's a good album right there. I fucks with the beats are dope, very dope. You know, if he stayed out of trouble, I think he would have made some dope music, man. But yeah, Shyne with his self-titled album, released in 2000, alright? Next album is Joy with her third album, Star Kitty's Revenge, released in 2002. For those who know who Joy is, she's an R&B singer. She's known for affiliation with, at one point, she was part of the whole Dungeon Family crew, you know, back in the early 90s. And she was also part of Lucy Pearl, which is Raphael Sadiq's group. It was Raphael Sadiq. At one point, it was Dawn Robinson from En Vogue. Then it was Ali Shahi Muhammad, a Tribe Called Quest. Unfortunately, they only came out with one album. Dawn Robinson, she left the group, and then she got in part of the group and stuff like that. And yeah, man, dope album right here, kind of funky, that kind of thing. Kind of different from her first album, which I do have. I'll show that. Well, I spoiled it, but I'll show in the next CD collection video. But yeah, very dope, man. I like it. Not her best album, but it's a decent album. If you guys want to know how she sounds, very dope. I fucks with it, you know what I mean? Something different. But yeah, Joy, Star Kitty's Revenge, released in 2002. I still got some time. Next album. These next two albums, I got it from my dude JD. Shout out to my nigga JD for blessing me with these CDs. Alright. Finally got my hands on this album. This album I'm going to show you guys is Mac Mall's Untouchable, released in 1996. Mac Mall, he's an MC from Vallejo, California, which is, you know, the Bay Area. You know, known Vallejo. Everybody's known about Vallejo. It's home of, you know, Sully Cell, E40, Be Legit, Mac Dre, you know, people like that. The great late Mac Dre, you know, people like that. Known for his affiliation with Mac Dre, because Mac Dre was his mentor, and then I believe he's cousins of E40, Be Legit, and Sway Calloway of Sway in the Morning and King Tech and stuff like that. But very dope album. I fucks with this album. My introduction, I probably mentioned it before, but my introduction to Mac Mall was actually from the New Jersey Drive soundtrack and the movie, because he had a song on there called All About My Fetty, and that song fucking bangs. That shit is fucking dope. And for some reason it's not on this album, which is kind of surprising to me. But he only made it for the soundtrack, so it is what it is. But yeah, glad to own this joint. Thank you, JD, for this. This shit is fucking dope. The single off this album is Get Right, which was the only single, and this is actually his best-selling album to date. So yeah, Mall Untouchable. This is out of print, but if you can find it, pick it up. It's really cheap online. Highly recommend if you guys like dope West Coast G-Funk from the mid-90s. Then we got Into Deep with their... This is their 4th album called The Rumble, released in 1998. This is another group from the West Coast Bay Area, Vallejo, you know what I'm saying? I think they're of Mexican descent, if I'm not mistaken, which consists of members into the, let's see, or whatever, it's whatever. I know one of them was JT, I think, JT, I believe, and Johnny Z. I think those are the 2 members of the group, Johnny T and JT and Johnny Z. Those are the producers. I mean, those are the people, 2 members of the group. The singles off this album was First We Drink, Then We Smoke, We Gets Down Like That, and All Night. Those are the singles off the album. Decent album, man. Really decent album. I would like to get more of this stuff. You know what I mean? But that stuff is kind of hard to find. But glad to own this joint. Thank you, JD, for this joint right here. Alright. Last but not least, the moment that people's all been waiting for. People's been asking me about getting this album. Am I going to do a review on it? What are my thoughts on it? And it's coming. And it is Tribe's new album and their final album, We the People. No, We Got It From Here. Thank You For Your Service. Released in 2016. This dropped, I believe, about almost like 3 weeks ago, I believe. This came out the 11th of this month, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, very dope album. The single for now is called We the People. Very dope song. One of my favorite songs of the album. I mean, fucking love this album right here. This shit is dope. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, man, I'm glad to own this joint right here. Now I actually have my Tribe, discography completed somewhat. If you consider like somewhat like the the compilation albums which I need to get. But yeah, man, glad to own it. I got it for $6.99 at Best Buy. You can't beat that. That's fucking cheap. So you have no reason why not to get in this album. I mean, brand spanking new for $6.99, man. Fucking dope, man. And great price for me because I'm a cheap ass nigga. So, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I got another CD collection coming up. I got a CD coming in the mail today. And if all goes well, I might record it tonight or I'll do it tomorrow, alright? This batch of CDs are rare CDs. I mean, it's the creme de la creme, like highly sought after CDs. Well, at least to me they are. But, yeah, man. So stay tuned for more videos, alright? Peace!